Hi, welcome back to Talking About Success. I'm Jack Canfield, your host. I have a great guest today who's going to tell us something very important that most of us are not aware of. And I just experienced recently, so I'll talk about that in the interview. But McAwley LeDuc, she's a retired nurse practitioner. She knows of a major pitfall, which she's going to make you aware of today in our unstable medical landscape. We have a health system that's a little bit disorganized at the moment, I think we could say.
Yes.
That most of you are not aware of, and you need to be. And she's here to guide us about how to deal with that risk so that it's not a risk. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jack.
Glad
it's
to
wonderful
have you
to be here.
Very good. So tell us about this this pitfall that most people are not aware of.
Well, basically, the pitfall is not having your own personal record of your personal medical history. And you might say, who needs it? I have a PCP that takes care of everything. Well, in this day and age, that you do have a PCP, but they're very busy. We have a doctor for each system of our body.
Stop. What is a PCP?
A PCP, your primary care provider.
Okay, got it.
Yes,
Got
yes.
it.
So I'll keep saying PCP because it's shorter.
Now we know what it is.
Now we know.
Okay, good.
And that could be your MD, your nurse practitioner, or your PA, your nurse midwife.
Okay, got it.
So
I just had an experience where I went to the doctor for sleep apnea, and you got a CPAP machine. I had one, but we were upgrading to a new one. And I had to fill out a 12-page medical history. And I didn't know the answers to some of the things, like when was that gallbladder removed? When did I break my knee? When did I have that accident where my nose was broken and it got infected and so forth? I just didn't remember. Hospitalization dates and all that kind of stuff. And so the issue for me was just a pain in the neck. I had to kind of make up stuff or just say about 10 years ago or whatever. And I think for my CPAP machine, it's not that big a deal. But you tell a story about having to go to the hospital, I think with your husband.
Yes.
Talk about that. Then it was a big deal not having that information.
That was a big deal. In Hurricane Irene, he fell down the basement stairs and smacked the concrete wall.
So the electricity went out.
Yes, it did.
It fell down the stairs.
Fell down the stairs. I thought it was a tree falling outside.
Wow.
And it was my husband. So he ended up in the trauma unit of a major hospital. And there were no medical records there for him. He wasn't on their computer system, and the doctor's offices weren't open. So when they came on rounds, which they do every day, wearing their weight coats and their stethoscopes, I know this drill, and they looked to me, his wife, for the answers to their medical questions. They needed to know his history because he was going into emergency surgery. And they expected me to know because I'm a nurse practitioner.
Right.
I had been up over 24 hours, and I was in an emotional basket case because he had paralysis. So I froze. I couldn't remember the answers. And I stood there thinking, if only I had a cheat sheet. So I wrote the cheat sheet. I wrote the book, Personal Health Organizer, to record your personal medical history, birth through life. Now, Jack, I was a mess in my own records. I knew I needed something years ago. And I had folders and stickies, and I was a mess. But I expected my patients to know all those dates and all those everythings. So I knew I needed something. But it wasn't until that moment in the ICU that I knew all my family members needed one also, so that we could advocate for ourselves and advocate for our family members.
You know, I'll tell you why I think it's really important. The story I just told you about going to the sleep doctor.
Yes.
I thought I had a folder with where I copied some medical, questionnaires and stuff, and had records of things. I couldn't find it.
Yes.
I mean, I have a lot of folders because I'm an author and every book has one. I've done over 200 books and people send me stuff and everything. And I literally couldn't find it.
Yeah.
So, think I had chicken pox, mumps, and measles when I was a kid, but could I swear to it? My
Right.
mother's not alive. I don't know.
Exactly.
You know, and I'm sure my son, who's 28 in college, going back to graduate school right now, wouldn't know the answers to those questions. You know, and I don't know that we even have a record of that ourselves,
Right.
which is not good.
No, but we don't think about it. Everybody I spoke with, they said, oh, my goodness, I've never thought of that.
Yeah.
But nowadays, we do need to. I didn't know my immunizations. My parents were gone. When I went back to school as an older student, I had to have blood work done to prove that I had the
Oh, really?
immunizations.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, yes. So you think, oh, immunizations, they're for childhood. Well, yes, they are, but they're also to carry through your life. And
Right.
these types of things, either you never know or you forget.
Well, at the very least, it'll save you from one phlebotomist visit
Yes.
with sticking a needle in your arm, you know.
Yes, I should be given the needles, not getting them.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you've got this personal health organizer that you put together, and we have one here on set, and I've
Yes.
leafed through it. All kinds of questions I wouldn't have thought of. You know, like every different possible area of your body that might have had either a surgery or some challenge.
Yes.
All the allergies you have or had.
Yes,
Also, there's a thing in there about planning your wish list for your own death. Talk about that.
Yep, the final wishes.
Yes.
Sometimes people wait too late to think about it, and then they never write it down. And I've dealt with a lot of end-of-life patient care, and the families don't know what to do when the patient can't tell them. And then there's guilt, and then there's fighting. So we all probably need to step up earlier, think about what we want, think about your arrangements, and record it. Not for yourself, but for the people that are going to deal with your passing.
So we're talking about
Illness.
issues like do not resuscitate, donation of body organs, things
living
like that.
wills.
Living wills.
If you want for an estate, sometimes people have a conservator of estate lined up for when you go. All those little details, which cemetery you might like to be in, if you've already made arrangements and paid for them, they need to know that. And you think about it ahead of time.
Sure.
And write it down.
If you want to be cremated, where do you want your remains to go?
Exactly. Where do you want them? You want them sprinkled in the ocean? Do you want them buried? What do you? Everybody wants to honor the wishes of our loved ones that have passed, but you can't if you don't know them.
Any other areas that people should know about? I mean, I've just mentioned a few.
Yes. Well, allergies is very important. The allergy is important, but the reaction is extremely important. Because there's a matter of degree when we're ordering, say, an antibiotic. If you said to me, you came in and you had an allergy to penicillin, and I would say, well, what's your reaction? And you would say, I don't know. It occurred in childhood, and nobody wrote it down. If you had a bellyache, that's easily fixed. If you had a drug rash, that's a whole different animal. So depending on what the reaction is, we'd either try the antibiotic or not. If you have a penicillin allergy, there's a 10% chance, 6 to 10, it's debatable, on whether you have a cross into another category of antibiotics, the cephalosporins. So if you had a drug rash, that could wipe out 2 categories. There's only 7 categories of antibiotics. You might have some resistance because resistance to antibiotics is very common these days.
Right.
So we're down to the nitty-gritty of what we're going to treat you with, if anything. So I've had people that there was nothing to treat with. Nothing.
Really?
Because of resistance
Yeah.
and their allergies. So to know the reactions, very important. That's one. Your immunizations. You should know your family history. Especially
like if my mother
get it
had a
early.
heart attack or my mother.
Right,
Exactly.
right. If your father had colon cancer, you wouldn't have to wait till you're 50 to have your colonoscopy that everybody loves. You might get yours at 40 because early detection is the key.
Yeah.
And so we need to know that. And genetics plays into family history also. And the last thing is this is important for you, Jack, make a list of all your diagnoses and your surgeries so that when you go to the doctor and have those 12 pages, you have your list right here, and you can go beep, 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 beep. And do you forget? I forgot because it wasn't on the list.
Right.
And I'm a nurse practitioner. So it's important, not just for you, Jack, I'm picking on you. But
That's okay.
Yeah,
No, that's fine.
I forgot mine. And it's for all of us. And it's just a better way to keep track. There was a patient that I know of that went to a doctor, and somehow in the transcription of her medical record, a diagnosis did not get put in. So she was treated, and the treatment didn't go well because that diagnosis wasn't known. So we do need to advocate for ourselves 100%, like your Success Principles book says. 100%. We need to know what our diagnoses are, learn about them, record them for easy access and recall, and be on top of things and advocate for ourselves.
Very cool.
Yep.
Now, you are giving a percentage of the proceeds of your book to a nonprofit.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yes, Health Wagon.
Health Wagon.
Health Wagon. It's a large bus that it's run by 2 nurse practitioners, and they go through the mountains of Appalachia, giving health care to
Where I grew up in West Virginia, so I support this.
Yeah, see, so you know. They are medically underserved there.
Yes, indeed.
And this is portable medicine to the people who need it.
Oh, beautiful.
And thank you. Yep, I think they're doing a great job.
Well, thank you for supporting them.
Thank you.
So do you have a website that people can go to find out more about your book and the
Yes.
other services you have?
Yes, I do. It's personal-health-organizer.
Personal-health- the dash is just a little
The
dash
dash
line.
is just a dash.
Yeah, organizer.
So personal-health-organizer-.com.
It's up on the
It's
screen.
up. Look,
we have it right.
You see how we forget, Jack?
I do. Got to be careful to forget.
Got to be careful. Got to be careful.
Those dashes
Yeah,
are important.
Those dashes are.
Well, thank you
Yes.
very much for
Thank
joining
you,
me.
Jack. You've been wonderful. Thank you very
I think
much.
everyone should have one of these. This is important, and I'm going to do them for my kids for now. We're going to go back and do some medical research.
The kids should, especially newborns. It's great.
Yes.
Gift for the
Yeah, that'd be a
the
great
newborns.
gift to give someone who just
The baby showers.
one of my staff just had a kid, so
Oh,
maybe
there
I'll
you
do
go.
that. Yeah, good.
Yes.
Excellent.
And,
Thank you.
Good. So good luck with that.
I will.
Thank you.
I
Yes.
take it. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Thank you.
We have another guest after this message from our sponsor, so stick around. We'll be right back.